And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
That's about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin in particular?
We're going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's
That's
go!
pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again, in the second half?
Pat McAfee unleashed absolute fury on Marina Mabrey following her blatant and brutal assault on Caitlin Clark, a hit that left fans outraged and questioning the very integrity of the WNBA. Meanwhile, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert remains eerily silent, her refusal to speak out becoming more damning with each passing day. What unfolded on that court wasn't just a hard foul. It was a televised indictment of a league spiraling out of control. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was the latest flashpoint in what increasingly feels like organized chaos masquerading as professional basketball. The silence from the league's top leadership has only amplified the frustration. Engelbert's failure to defend the sport's biggest star sends a chilling message that player safety, fairness, and accountability are optional in today's WNBA. What's even more disturbing is the apparent pattern of biased and incompetent officiating, which has gone unchecked for weeks. Fans are no longer just questioning missed calls. They're questioning whether the WNBA is still being run with integrity. If this is the new standard, then the foundation of the league is cracked beyond repair, and unless Engelbert acts now, the damage may become irreversible.
This is all going according to plan. This is ideal. Caitlin Clark is holding up her end by being awesome and by being a trash-talking jerk on the court. Love it. Her teammates are holding up their end by having her back. The other players in the league are holding up their end by not liking her. Perfect. Couldn't have written a better script. Caitlin is talking trash to this girl. This girl's hard fouling her. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who got a black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 6, she's like, I will F you guys up. All of it's great, and Caitlin's a killer. 10 out of 10, no.
In this era of manufactured outrage and selective justice, facts have become as rare as competent officiating in any WNBA game featuring Caitlin Clark. Tuesday night's heated matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun was yet another example of that growing dysfunction. What should have been a routine basketball sequence quickly devolved into something far more sinister. The sport's equivalent of a premeditated assault. Marina Mabrey didn't just commit a hard foul. She made a conscious decision to treat the rules of basketball as mere suggestions, with zero regard for safety, sportsmanship, or integrity. Mabrey delivered a blow that looked less like competition and more like retribution. And once again, the officials looked the other way, just as they have time and time again when it involves Caitlin Clark. The silence from league leadership in response to these repeated attacks is deafening. How many more hits will it take before someone finally decides enough is enough? How many more times will Clark have to pick herself up off the floor before the WNBA enforces the same standards it claims to uphold?
Well, I will say this. When Caitlin Clark was out, they lost 55% of their viewership. So, basically, Caitlin Clark is paying all their salaries.
Pretty much.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can hate her as much as you want, but she's brought in millions of fucking dollars. So you should be kissing her ass.
And that kind of defeated the purpose of Angel Reese's argument of she's like, hey, it's not just Caitlin Clark that is bringing all the viewership to the WNBA. It's like, well, it definitely is. It's like it kind of proved that with the viewership rating being down that she significantly increases viewership with
Dude, they
her.
try so hard to compare her to Caitlin Clark. They try so.
The sequence began with what looked like standard defensive pressure. J.C. Sheldon reaching in and poking Caitlin Clark directly in the eye. Clark, displaying the same competitive fire that's made her the undisputed face of women's basketball, pushed back, asserting herself after what was clearly a deliberate and dangerous contact. But what happened next took the moment from competitive to criminal. That's when Marina Mabrey abandoned any pretense of basketball and transformed into something else entirely. A street enforcer masquerading in a WNBA jersey, she blindsided Clark with a vicious shove, sending her crashing to the hardwood in a moment that felt less like a foul and more like a message. This wasn't basketball, it was targeted aggression, and the message was loud and clear. Caitlin Clark is not just being played against, she's being hunted.
The fever and sun hold a brawl in a basketball game breaks out. This was something. Caitlin Clark, without question, gets raked across the face. I think she gets poked in the eye, but it's difficult to tell.
If you're the Indiana Fever, you cannot stand by and let that happen. They need to make it clear to the officials. If you're going to let this happen, then we're going to stand up for our player and make a mess of the game, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So you need to stand up for this. You need to do something about this.
You've just learned with definitive data and beyond question that Caitlin Clark controls more than half the audience for the entire WNBA.
The officials, displaying the kind of incompetence that has unfortunately become their trademark, spent a staggering 15 minutes reviewing what should have been the easiest ejection call in WNBA history, while Marina Mabrey's foul on Caitlin Clark was blatant and malicious. The referee somehow struggled to apply even the most basic rules of the game. It was a masterclass in hesitation and ineptitude. Pat McAfee didn't hold back in his reaction. "I don't like these cheap shots," he said. "She got poked in the eye. Cheap shots can't be happening, and it always happens." He continued, acknowledging the elephant in the room. Caitlin is certainly going to be a storyline. She's a star. She's a dog. And the WNBA is seemingly on the ride. But this isn't just about one bad call or one cheap shot. It's not even about just one star player being targeted repeatedly. This is where the story transcends ordinary basketball incompetence and crosses into the realm of institutional corruption, the kind that would make a banana republic blush. The lack of discipline, accountability, and leadership is no longer a side issue. It is the issue. The WNBA isn't just failing to protect its biggest draw. It's actively undermining the integrity of the game.
A lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said, "One player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped."
Caitlin Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, "Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a complete different league," and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah. WNBA record. This is her second season. And you put the numbers together, that's like 10 seasons. That girl did it in 10 seasons. That means she had one a season. Caitlin Clark is... when Caitlin Clark gets to 10 seasons, she's going to have 100 of these. And y'all can't get a girl her roses. Now, I don't like the fact that she be getting woke because she don't want all these lesbians to be mad at her. At the end of the day, is the woman putting in the work, she's putting in the work. And